Good day, everyone. It's Max, and welcome back to the Dyson Sphere Program. Next, this should be episode 37, I believe. And, yep, 200 rockets, I said. Yep, and shouldn't be a problem, I said. Well, I'm pretty sure I didn't say that, but in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. You know, it's just a lot of building, right? Yeah. Well, you know what? Could be a slightly bigger problem. But you know what? We're going to go into the game. We're going to have a look around. And we're going to see why in the stuff in the house. So let's do that. The calm, relaxing music. Okay, well, first things first, rockets. You know, we got rockets to pew-pew into space, because that's what we do. Yep, you do that. Keep the action going, keeping it alive. Yep, you do a thing. Something like that. And again, I am doing this manually on purpose because the poor homeworld, it's under a lot of duress. I've made a recent visit back to the homeworld. Planet Max is a little bit stressed out. Yep, it is. It's running out of resources all over the place, and of course, as it's running out of resources, what's happening is I'm not there to monitor it, to put in like replacement towers or anything like that. So what's happening is this stuff is just running out, and then entire parts of the planet are shutting down, right? That was a bit of a hassle. I actually spent a couple hours there earlier, kind of tweaking and fixing and doing things to kind of put some of it back together on a temporary basis so as I could get back out here. But it was kind of crazy. So yeah, we got the rockets shooting again. The shelling is doing pretty good. I'd like to try and actually finish most of the shell now before launching more sails, because I'm not really in a desperate need for the power at the moment. So by putting the rest of this first shell up before we launch some more sails at it will allow it to kind of have more places for the sails to go into the porthole things and get put into the diamond things, and we like that. We like that idea. So with that, let's now head over to Planet 3 here in the Bat Crazy system, and of course we can also talk about our slight dilemma. So, for 200 rockets, all right, and I guess the big challenge here is when you do calculations on sites like and yes, I'm not warping over. I'm doing the cruise over so I can have a look at a few things, because come on, man, we're out in space, we're building the things. You got to stare at the stuff sometimes. You got to appreciate what it is we're creating here. We're creating a universe. Yeah, that's right. So back to the dilemma. Right, so when you use these calculator websites to say, I want to build 200 rockets, and then they give you a bunch of numbers, of course, there's always going to be limitations, right? I mean, yes, they're asking you if you have alternate recipes, and they're asking you for this and that and a dozen other things, and it's all pretty groovy and good. The biggest trick, though, yeah, come on, dude, we gotta get to the equator, and we got things things to do. We're at the equator. Okay, cool. And you got to go this way. The big challenge, of course, is that oh, here we go. Yep, we're here. The big challenge, of course, is that not all not all scenarios are going to fit into the nice little pretty boxes, right? So you have these pretty little boxes, and it's going to give you a bunch of numbers. So according to the calculator, I need about 48,000 hydrogen a minute. 48,000, okay? That's a huge number. All right? Now, yes, 28,000 of that is used in recycling to then reprocess more hydrogen, hence my hydrogen crackers, right? And then the other 20,000 is what you're actually going to pull out to use, right? So, you know, you're recycling 28,000 of it a minute. This is 28,000 a minute, all right? To then pull 20,000 of it out to then actually use it. So, first problem. Well, it's not a problem. First thing is that's a thousand oil refineries. Okay, that's a lot of oil refineries. Even if you know, you're doing all the X-ray and the cracking and the things, and that's on a calculator basis. I don't know if that would take into account my how much my you know, hydrogen cracking build will do or whatever. But that's a lot of hydrogen. Okay, that's a lot of factories. 2, there isn't enough oil. There just isn't enough oil. So here on this planet, there's 128 oil per second. Turns out that is only half of what you need to make hydrogen for 200 rockets on that type of build. If I was doing just oil X-ray cracking, right, using oil in the ground to get the oil to do the cracking, you need about, I think it's 258 oil a second, or 14,800, well, 14,900, let's say 15,000. You need 15,000 oil a minute, or 260 oil a second, to actually get the amount of hydrogen you need through cracking to do that. So obviously, we don't have any of that, okay? I mean, even, you know, we crack all this oil, we're still only going to get half things. Oh, by the way, we'll talk about that in a second. So what are we going to do, right? Now that I've told you the story here for, like, you know, 5 minutes, what are we going to do about it? Well, we're still going to build, right? I mean, come on, we're still going to build it. That's not the thing. But obviously, we can't get all the hydrogen here, right? Turns out, I have this big honkin' hydrogen gas planet floating around, which is totally covered in orbital thingies, each holding 5,000 hydrogen. Maybe I should ship some of that here. So I'm thinking, yep, we'll crack all your oil, right? That's fine. And then the other half of the hydrogen that I need, we're just going to ship it here. We're going to just bring it here from the where am I getting it from? Gee whiz, where am I getting the hydrogen from? Yeah, I'm getting it from the ridiculous system. So we're gonna just pull all the hydrogen we want from the ridiculous system to our system. Thumbs up, and we're all cool. Okay, so now you know the plan. We're gonna build a bunch of hydrogen crackers, and then we're going to import the rest of the hydrogen, and hope that all works out. Now, of course, before we do that, let's have a look at all the things. Are we going up or are you going down? I guess I talked all day and now it's going to get dark. Great, fine, whatever. Let's fly with the sun for a second to see what's going on. So, yes, wherever there was oil, we towered it. 20 23 or 24 of them in the end, actually. Some of them I was able to share towers because they were so close, but overall, you know, lots of them, you know, they get a tower, they get a pump, they get robots, they do a thing. And this here is actually just a landfill center. Thanks, left hand, for the box that I didn't need. Yeah, it's just a landfill center, right? There was some stone right there. There was some iron right there. I needed landfill. Ta-da! We got landfill. Do you know that in this, it holds 1,000 per stack? That's pretty crazy. Like, I was watching it build. When I built this last night, I was watching it, and I was like, it's not stopping at 200. Will it go to 500? It didn't stop at 500. When will it stop? And I was panicking because I was like, oh my goodness, what happens if this actually, like, what happens if the you know, the programmers and the devs didn't put like a number, or put like, you know, some crazy thing like 32,000 or something like that? I don't need 32,000 landfill. You know, what am I going to do? You know, I don't want to waste all that ore just, you know, on landfill. So anyway, nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. This is dark now. So you know what? I'm going to bring you back when it's light, and then we're gonna talk about it. I'll see you in a second. Okay, with the Dyson Sphere coming up in the background. Ooh, yeah. Let's talk about what we got here. This is a runway. Dun, 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 dun. That's right. We are right here on the equator, and basically, it's open land season. We are going to run it, right? The plan, of course, is to keep running it right down here as far as we can go. Now, it turns out planet-wise that it basically, if I turn around here, basically, I should be able to run this along for a bit. We're going to run into some resources here, and then we run into the big empty pocket space, and that's pretty cool, right? Now, of course, there is a lot of kind of semi-space back here, but there was a lot more ocean water that way, so nevertheless, I just kind of picked here's a starting line. Now, it turns out you need 16 full lines of oil if we were doing this on the full scale, right? But we're not, because we just don't have that much oil. So what we have here is 8 lines, 8 full lines of oil. All right, and we are going to we're gonna snap, crackle, pop it. That's what we're doing now. To do that, of course, I'm going to have to build my hydrogen crackers and start feeding them down on lines. This is gonna. I have to get one of them set up to kind of work out the model on like, you know, the spacing model on how much space it's going, like, I need on each side of this center line to then draw it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set one up. Thanks, left hand, for the weird boxes. I'm going to set this up. I'm going to set one of them up just so I have a model to go by, because I will need a model. And then we're going to start pushing these down. Now, the one thing about what I wanted to do was I want to use my model of deuterium cracking as well. But you only need 8,000 of that. And this is really where the question becomes. We've got half of it here, half of it's going to be shipped in. Do I use the and basically what's left over, like, remember how I said, you know, you need 28,000 just for the cracking purpose, and then the other 20,000 is left over. So basically 10,000 of that is going to deuterium, and 10 of that is staying as hydrogen for other things. Do I use this planet just for the deuterium? I guess is the question. And really, I guess the answer is yes. So I'd still like to try my hydrogen deuterium cracking build, and so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make a lot of that, and then direct hydrogen coming in from the gas giant will be just that. It will just be flat out hydrogen. This is where we'll do all the cracking, and we'll see how it goes. So let me set up a model, and then we'll have something to work with, and we'll take it from there and see how it goes. Boy, oh boy, the old sun moves fast around here, doesn't it? I mean, literally, it wasn't that long, I didn't think. So anyway, I'll bring you right back as soon as I have one model down, and then we're going to build one, and then kind of start putting the pieces together and see how it goes. All right. We have the... Thanks, left hand. We have the prototype built, where... you know, the oil will come in the front, the cracking and the things will happen. I guess I better set that up, huh? The cracking of the things. Where's the arrow? Yep. Okay. The cracking of the things will happen. I have to put the insert, or the sorters in yet. And then, of course, this is a slight twist on the design for deuterium, fractionating, I guess we'll pluralize that. And then, of course, you know, if you get down here with some extra free hydrogen, we are still turning you into deuterium, because we're launching rockets here, mister, and that's what we do here. We need 4,000 of this at the end of the day. That is the goal. This has to produce 4,000 deuterium to do all the rockets right there. Okay, so... now, just for funsies, I am going to duplicate this on the other side, and sure, just to make the extra challenge, the sun has to go down. So let's now see if I can't duplicate this pattern on the other side. Well, definitely not that way. We are going to go 1, 2, and then right there, I believe. Now, for temporary hoots, I tend to run a line down here, right up to this last port. Then I break the line and then run it back out. And that's because this just helps with the merging process of these. So we're going to merge that one into here. We're going to merge this side here into there. So hydrogen, of course, is coming down the center. To get, if there's anything left, it's going to come down the center and then get pulled into these two machines, and then, of course, is going to get pulled onto this line. Now, this whole 1% thing is going to be the big wild card, right? Everything up to this point has been about definitive numbers, right? You take this, you crack it into this, right? So you get X amount of hydrogen out of this a minute. You take that 10 hydrogen, you get 5 deuterium out of it. Winner, 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 chicken dinner, right? The problem is that now we're throwing in a little bit of fractionation, right? So 1% of the time, you know, we're going to get some free deuterium out of it at a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's great. But is it, you know, what is that? What is 1%? You know, in the whole scheme? Is it going to be, you know, is it going to make a big difference? Is it magically going to add, you know, character my life? You know, so this little extra part that we're about to add on now is the question. The question becomes, is it going to make a big difference? Very little difference? No difference? It'll be interesting to see. It will definitely be interesting to see. I believe it is right on that. Yeah, it is right on that post. Okay. So we want one there, and one there. And we need to build little circles around you. So we're going to have you come out and go this way, and then over here, and then in and in. Yep, like so. Your best friend over here is going to do the same thing. Like this. Oh, okay. You're really going to figure that out this time. And, oh, except that's backwards, and it's not going to work. All right. I was just say that was way too easy, because any other time these things give me a hard time. So it's like, I don't know. That was way too easy. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're going to come out. Come on. Yeah, see, now that was what I was expecting. I was expecting a lot harder time here, right? Yep. Yep, do a thing, and a thing, and a thing, and back in you go. Excellent. Let us now throw down this right there in the center. We will have you go like this. Now, this is this little extra pattern design looks groovy, right? The only thing is that splitters can't have multiple priority filters. So I could say, yes, I want you to always try and fill in this fractionator over here. Or I want you to always try and fill in this fractionator on the right. But see, I can't set them both. I would love to say, look, try going to the left and the right, and then if you can't do either one, try going to the center, right? Or say, okay, try this first, try this second, try this third. But you can't do that. You either have to have equal priority, right? Which means a third of them are always going to get to go through the center into the deuterium processors. Or, I can prioritize one of them, I guess, and then let it fight it out for the other two, I guess really is the only option I have. So it will always try to go into at least one of them, and then it will say, okay, 50-50 shot for the other two. Okay, I guess that's my only real option for that. Now, it's nice to have the sunlight back out, because that makes this a little easier, that's for sure. Okay, so now we need you guys. Oh, thanks for the wrong button again. Sometimes sometimes I make a lot of fun with my left hand, but it can be a frustration. Let's put it that way, right? Some days you just kind of like, you know what? Why do you do the things you do? Why do you do the things you do? That is not where I want that, but I do want this just for the measurement for the moment. Okay, so that I want that right there, and that one right there. Now we'll clean this up. Right there. Thank you. Now we will straighten this out to make sure that that splitter is in the right spot and it's the right type, because it's got to have the one-upmanship on it, right? Excellent. We need more of you. We need more of you. We need two more of you. Yep, two more of you. And then your splitter in the back is right after the port, right there. So now we need this to come out, this come out, this go in, out, in, out. Okay, and this goes down the center, and then this comes out of here, slides down a ramp, flows into there. Groovy. Okay. These, you must, whatever. You know what I want. Yes. You must go this way. You must go that way. Okay. Very good. Now, that leaves two left. So let's have a look at the last two. I think they're actually pretty close together over here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, like there's only like one space between them, which sets them right up against the line on that last one. So let's just whip on over here. So if I just make this one line, yep, it's exactly what it does. It pushes it right up against that line. Cool. And now we're going to take this line here, which is the last port on these, to force that in, and then we want a little line coming over here and a little line coming over here, and then 1, 2, and then where's the oil at? Nope, it's going to be this way. So then in, out, in, like that. Awesome. We should set you up for oil now. That's groovy. Set you up, paste you. We should have your friends do all our cracking for us, because that's what we want. And then we set you up and paste. We actually need some inserters, or sorters, whatever we're calling them today. Of course, we always want to make sure it's coming out, right? Hydrogen out before hydrogen in. Okay? So because because this side is coming down this way, it is going to be out, and then you're in, and then you're out, and then you're in. You must come out, sir, before you go on in. Excellent. Here it's going to be hydrogen out. Put your hydrogen out onto the platform, please, and you will do the same thing. Here it's oil all in. Excellent. Now we have to actually do the outside lines now. So, boop. That one's pretty easy. But then the next one's a little bit trickier because you got to come down here, and then we got to make like a little turn. Oops, I forgot to put the outlines on these. That was a bit of an oopsie on my part. We will do that now, though. There we go. So this is an deuterium exit line, and because these are also exiting deuterium on this line and that side, they're perfectly fine to do that. We're gonna do the same thing over here. No, don't do that. Do that. Excellent. Now we can actually run this second line. So we have to have output lines. This line, of course, is the output of this for refined oil to get sucked back in by these. But now these need a place to put graphene, right? So that's what we're dealing with here. So we're going to come down here. We're going to come out one. We're going to go do this. And then we're going to bridge up one and over all the things. Thanks, left hand, for the wrong button again. But this time you're not going to fool me. Blah, blah, blah. And there's one. And okay, now back down we go. So we need the output for refined oil to come down here. And then we need the output for the graphene. We come down here. We come out one. Yep, do the things. And then we go up and go all the way down. Like so. Yep, not even going to say it. Okay, how about we put some ins and outies on this. All right, so in this case, we want to pull oil out on this side, and then, of course, we're going to pull it in. Sure. And on this, we want to pull the graphene out on this side. Excellent. Same thing over here. The oil has to come out on this side, which then it can pull it in. Yep. And then coming out is the graphene. So the graphene, excellent. Now down here, of course, we want the hydrogen being pulled in to these. And we want deuterium being pulled out. Whoa. Why were you giving me choice? There should have been no choice there. There is no choice on this machine. We're not doing antimatter on this. What are you doing? Oh, it's because I haven't got them set up. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, no, sir. You're gonna do that. That's what you're gonna do. Now you won't even ask me for the other machine, right? You're just gonna say, yeah, okay. I know what you want. I know what you want. Just do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, there should be none of this needing of a filter there. Okay, cool. Now that we actually have that one set up, I don't even have the sorters in on that one. I would love to fire this up and just see how much we get out of it, right? Because that's kind of part of this test. So I am going to cut this way back. And the reason is that we get, at the end of it, we need 4 lines. Well, it's not quite 4. It's like 3.5. 3.5 lines of deuterium, right? 4,000. We need 4,000 deuterium. It's basically like, it's like, what's that, 18, 36? It's like 2.3 lines, whatever. But you need like 8 lines of the graphene, right? So let's do a little bit of splitter action. Bam, bam, right? Because that's what we do here. Bam, bam action. So we need, how are we going to do that? Do I go up, down? Like, you're already in the air. It'd be nice to have you just in the air. You come in, and then and then we do a thing, and we're all happy, right? I mean, that's the way I would like to have it. I mean, you're already up and over for this ramp. I might as well just keep you up here and then slam you in, and then have you go across. But now that means my hydrogen is not going to get across. Gosh darn tootin'. So how am I going to handle that? Yes. All right. Fine. Whatever. I'm a little bit bummed out about this, but at the same time, this will solve my dilemma. It's not really a dilemma, but it will answer all the questions in the world, I guess. I'd like to try and somewhat keep these even, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to use these build lines here as the down lines for this. We'll stop there for a second. Right. So now I need to rotate you, mister. Oh, yeah, any other time you would hit that other key left hand, and this time, no, you don't want to hit that key. Right, we want to do that. Yep. And it's weird. Like, you know, the music plays, and then they have this big, huge pause between the music. Yeah, so see, there's the music again, right? But it's like an almost a 2-minute pause where you have, like, no music. It's a little weird. Anyway. Boop. Alright, so now, see, now I can run my hydrogen because you only need, in the end, we only need about 3 lines of it. If any of it gets out, or the deuterium, there's only 3 lines, and we can, of course, run that down the center, right, for now, for the first line, anyway. So, you should do a thing. You should come across here, do a thing. Of course, all we're going to do right now is slam them in the boxes, because that's what we want to measure, right? We do measurements here. We want to know just how lucky are we going to get on that 1%, right? Do we got storage boxes? We sure do. We like storage boxes because that allows us to test free things. Okay, we should have some power for that. Something like that, maybe. Now, power poles. I have no idea where we're going to put the power poles. Okay, so okay, so that's pretty good. We can probably get power poles there. Of course, now that we're kind of up here, we can do there. Okay, why would you do that? You did that just to make it look funny. I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know how well this will work on the next row, but you know what? This is where we're going with it at the moment, anyway. Cool. And then of course we're going to put one here and one here and one here. Okay, so that should cover everything. Sure. Let's actually hook it to some real power, though. There we go. Do the thing. Boom. Right. Now, it just wants oil, right? It's going to want some oil. So, yes. We got to get some oil out here before we can do that. And, of course, we're going to want to make sure that we can get oil out here at any time. So that would be 2. Did it not do that one? Why did it not? Collides with other object. What other object? It's a tree. It's a tree, dude. What object are we colliding with? Oh, what's are you? Oh, darn it. I don't know, this great big pile of silicon, whatever. There's a great big pile of stuff here that I gotta mine. And we definitely need to mine it. So, hello, you can't go through there. Okay, you know what? Let's just borrow this first tank. We're doing a test, right? We're just doing a test. I will figure out the logistics of that afterwards. Okay, we're gonna bring this over. Get ready to hook this up. Okay, so here is what we want to do. Oh, we better get inserters on there because this is going to be a thing. Obviously, this is going to be a real rough shot. Ooh, wow, really, huh? I am going to look up some numbers after this test and see where we are in relationship to this one build doing the one thing, right? And I am way over on time again. Ooh, okay, well, we're going to do this test anyway. Let's do it. So, plug the thing in. Here we go. Now, we should have very little need for warm-up time because, I mean, these can only go so fast. 15 a minute, huh? Okay. And 15 a minute. There you go. All right, so we're going to see some stuff happen here. Of course, the problem is that this has to warm up, right? These have to go around and around and around in a circle to do a thing, right? And so until this gets warmed up, until this gets totally full and this gets totally full and all the things get totally full, we're not going to be able to do this test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here, and I'm going to bring you back because I'm already over on time anyway. And once it's up and running really, really, really good, we're going to take a reading, see how it goes. Hold on a sec. All right, we're back. And I had to tweak my design because it wasn't working here. Don't know why, but I did tweak it. It is working. It looks empty, but it's never empty. It is able to pull in the, to keep itself full of hydrogen, and we are now getting the extras coming out the side. So, you know, we're getting 2 in, and sometimes we'll get a dozen out or whatever, who's ever releasing what at what time, right? These are staying practically full all the time. That looks pretty good. I guess maybe I could add more of these to increase my chances, but this is the build I have. This is the setup I'm going with, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, we want to test how much of this is in a minute. So I'm going to take this, and then 15 seconds later, take this. So this is going to be go. And then this one here, we're going to do at the 45-second mark. And, oops, open the inventory so as I can I can empty it. And 4 more seconds. Go. Okay, so now we're going to measure these 2 boxes and see what they give me in a minute. And we'll hope that something happens. I don't know. I'm going to see what they'll give us for numbers. We're 20 seconds away for this box, I guess, because we took this one at 30 seconds. So, I mean, I don't know if this is a good or bad number. This is a total guesswork. This is total guesswork. So, in this particular case, I am literally letting this run through. We got 3 seconds, 2, 1. And cut that off. And then this box is going to be 10 seconds away. Right? 5 seconds. Here we go. 3. And cut you off. All right. So this box is 60. Okay. And this box is 64. Okay. Let me go check some numbers. And we'll see what that kind of equates out to, I guess. 60 and 64. Sure. Okay, so the numbers are going to be kind of mute. It's a mute point at the moment. So we need 14,000 of this a minute, right? And we're getting 60, which basically comes back to the 1,000 machines that I mentioned earlier, right? You know, you need 1,000 machines of this to get that kind of number. Okay. Well, at least we know they'll do 60 a minute as an average, right? Now, as for this of course is 64, but let's just say this was 60. Now this needs 4,000 a minute, which according to the numbers would be 66 of these setups. All right. Is that an achievable number? I hope so, because our goal here, the graphene I'm not so worried about because of all the coal on the planet. But our goal here is to actually do the deuterium. And we need 66 of these setups to reach this goal of 4,000. If 64 is the average running total, right? So this is kind of an important thing because we need it. We need it to work, right? So again, it all comes down to are we getting a little bit of extra benefit out of these fractionators instead of just depending on these? Because really, on these website calculators, it is literally doing just a straight 5 to 10, right? Or 10 to 5, I guess is the way you would say it. So is that going to be a big enough difference? Maybe. I don't know. So with that, we're going to end it here for now. I'm going to build more of these. Because, sure, why not? I mean, that is what I do. I may tweak around with it a little bit. I don't know why this did not work as my initial setup did. Now, the way this works is actually even more better. This is better because unlike my setup where I was depending on hydrogen like forcing the kicking out on the other side and all that stuff, this is literally just a straight setup where it's going to go around, it's going to pick up hydrogen, if it has extra it spits it out and do things. So I will probably redo that tutorial, but that's okay. I mean, that's what all the learning is for, right? Though this again is working flawlessly, it is really cool to watch, right? So as long as these continue to find 10 hydrogen, that's the goal. They have to keep finding 10 hydrogen to keep themselves nice and full, and they are doing that. They are making sure they get their 10 hydrogen before they kick out their extra, right? And then, of course, the extra allows them to go down the ramp and off to do the wonderful things in Ozland that we want them to go do. With that, I'm Max, and on the next episode, we're going to probably see this scaled up and maybe even run a couple more tests to see on a larger scale how big, how big are we going, right? That, and I got to figure out a little bit of detouring around this thing over here. So with that, I will see you on the next one. Take care.